Bienvenidos a la Deuces Wild Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente es el mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito San Dieguito, not with us today, but you got to check out his Mind Bender podcast, which not only is on No Filter Network, I believe it's on Apple, Spotify, wherever else, YouTube as well. It is fucking fantastic. Will the Thrill, not with us today. He will be with us tomorrow with improved technology, we believe. Regardless, we come on here each and every single day. Well, when we come on here, and we properly salute our boys, and of course, each and every one of you. Yes, 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 yes. Whoa. Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning to you on the 10th day of March 2025. And of course, we are brought to you by Bet Online, the number one online gambling destination for all the latest news, scores, odds, predictions. Go to Bet Online. If you, I don't know, like poker, blackjack, that's there for you as well as the sporting events. You got spring training baseball, March Madness happening, the NHL firing, the NBA. It's all there for you on Bet Online. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not bring up another one of our title sponsors, me. Go to ericbyrnes.com. That's right. To pick up the Effortless Life Lessons from a Human Crash Test Dummy. A must read, in my very humble opinion. The Daily Hustle 222 Unfiltered Life Guidance from a Human Crash Test Dummy. So this one right here is really cool. So it's basically years of daily hustles. So, for example, if you like the one that I'm about to get into today, there's 222 of them in here. A lot of life lessons, some of them about me, some of them about other people, experiences, all of it. And then do not forget, Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. Is a must-have for any parent, coach, or, if you ask me, player playing youth baseball. Or it doesn't even matter about youth baseball. It could be youth any other sport. It certainly transcends the sport of baseball. Okay, today's Daily Hustle. So typically how I do these, I'll get on the treadmill and I just go. And I'll have a quote, and then I'll relate maybe my life experience or someone else's life experience that I think we could all learn from. So today I actually wrote a Daily Hustle. And then for whatever reason, I wrote another one. So I had two, which is cool because that means we'll have one for tomorrow as well. But this one hit me a little bit. And I don't know why, but it certainly made me think about life. And I think whenever we can find something that allows for reflection, that's pretty cool. So here we go. The title of today's Daily Hustle: Earn Your Scars. Daily Hustle quote of the day, of course, earn your scars. Daily Hustle translation: as I finished up my 49 miles a couple weeks ago to celebrate my 49th birthday, I cracked open an adult beverage, took off my shoes and socks, and then propped up on the couch. I certainly have tested my body throughout the years, and that day wasn't any different. I was pretty beat up. As I stared down at the cold frosty between my legs, I happened to notice the multiple scars on my knees from years of sliding and diving playing baseball. I then looked at the huge gash in my shin from a gnarly bike crash when I was a kid. My Uncle Chris stitched me up with Aunt Sally's home sewing kit. My attention then went to my feet, where after countless ultra marathons and other epic endurance adventures. 2 toenails are completely missing, and the remnants of the 8 others in a corn sticking out the side of one of my toes get most civilized humans to instantly gag. I couldn't help but smile, then laugh, and I possibly even shed a tear or two as a crazy emotional feeling of humility and gratitude engulfed my body. I was humbled by my life experiences that have left their marks and grateful for every fucking one of them. You see, scars tell stories, and they are beautiful reminders of life's wild ride. Scars are not given freely, and they sure as shit aren't a participation trophy handed out for just showing up. Scars are badges of honor that are earned solely through go hard experiences. Wear them proudly. EB. All right. So, look, I don't care if you're proud or not proud of how you got the scar. I mean, I'm sure there's a few marks on my body where I look back and it's like, dude, what are you doing or whatever. But even with that, think about your scars as learning experiences, because even if it was something that you're like, dude, what the fuck was I doing? It still is a very humble reminder that, number one, we're all mortal. I mean, look, scars are also indications of the fact that, yeah, look, we bleed. We as human beings are not going to be here forever. And so I also think, a message and a lesson within this is that, and again, I'm not trying to freak people out here. We all will die. At some point, it will be over. And when we come to that realization, again, it's not to scare anybody, but it simply is to say, let's live. Let's be grateful for these opportunities to, number one, just feel the air pass through our nostrils and be here. But number two, to fucking charge life, to get after it. And so take those scars. And this is the interesting thing, because tomorrow's Daily Hustle kind of goes in line with what this was. That's probably why I came up with 2. But I just think it's critical for all of us to realize how lucky and fortunate we are to be alive and to be able to do certain things and go chase experiences. That's everything. That's what life is. So, on that note, don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Wear it as a badge of honor, like I said here in the Daily Hustle, because every mark is a lesson. And those are the lessons that ultimately shape us to be the person who we are today. All right, let's get into some of the top stories from today. Garrett Cole told to have Tommy John surgery. Yikes. So my UCLA brethren, looks like he most likely will be done for the season. I will say this. Look, Cole signed for a significant amount of time, right? This isn't the last year of his contract. He signed whatever it was, $300 million for a very long time. I want Garrett Cole healthy for the length of the contract. The last thing I fucking want is Garrett Cole with a torn UCL trying to pitch through it, and then it goes, and then we're still looking at another 18 months or whatever the recovery time is. I also feel like with Tommy John surgery right now, they're starting to nail it, where guys are coming back, throwing just as hard, if not harder. But the other thing about it is that they're not blowing out again. So I don't want to get into shit that I don't really know and talk about things that I've just sort of heard secondhand, but apparently they're starting to brace this thing where the ligament is now going to hold, where Tommy John surgeries used to have a 6-year lifespan, and that was it. I remember talking to a scout. I was actually talking to Billy Owens, the A's, and Billy was saying, he's like, look, when we look at guys who've had Tommy John, we're just like, okay, we got 6 years. And that's all you should expect. Well, now guys are throwing so hard, so young. I've also heard where kids who are getting recruited who throw 95 to 100 miles per hour, even just upwards of 90, college coaches are asking them, yo, have you had it yet? And it's not a question of like, have you had it? It's just, have you had it yet? And so when you look at these arms and typically what happens and how they go, and this is why, obviously you see this happen at the major league level, but it happens so often at the youth level, as the bodies just can't keep up with the fast arm. And so these pitchers are throwing so fucking hard these days that the UCL can't keep up. So on that note, I would highly advise Garrett Cole. If one doctor, and it just takes one, thinks you should get Tommy John, get fucking Tommy John. Get the surgery. It's been a proven success for so many major leaguers. And then going forward, he can ride off into the sunset healthy with the New York Yankees. All right, the other article here that I was looking at was about Matt Chapman, talking about he's a happy guy. He's got the security of the long-term deal with the Giants. Remember last year, Chapman didn't sign until really late, and then he signed the one-year deal with the Giants. He ended up hitting 27 home runs, drove in 78, stole 15 bags. Could he be the first Giant since Barry Bonds to hit 30 home runs? I'm hoping so. He is a really easy guy to root for. Got to know him a little bit when he was with the A's, interviewed him a handful of times. Just a fucking dude, man. Just a really, really good dude. Boys with Kowalski, I'm not sure if they still communicate as much as they did last offseason, where Kowalski was working at a facility where Chapman, with like a wellness facility that Chapman would frequent in that Scottsdale area. But check this out. This spring, dude is hitting .529. 4 homers, 9 RBIs. That's 9 for 17. There's your .529. Just crazy. Because if you could get consistent offensive production from Chapman, it's over. The guy gets hot, he gets cold, he gets hot, he gets cold. And that's sort of what we've come to expect. If he could figure out a way, and this is how you wonder if the contract will help with this, right? Because he's not pressing and he's just going out there and doing his thing. Matt Chapman's value is so much in his defense, where it's almost to the point, whatever you could get offensively from him, fuck yeah. But if he goes through a slump here or a slump there, if you're the Giants and you're Bob Melvin, you're okay with that. And that's what Bob Melvin has come to expect. I just wonder, he's entering that prime of his career, 31 years old. I had my best year at 31. It's where that physical peak meets the mind. So look out for a gigantic year from Matt Chapman. I just think this is really interesting. So what else is interesting? I put this up on No Filter Network's account. I wasn't going to put it on my own account, but it was a tweet that was sent out. So you go back to 2017 with the San Francisco Giants. This is crazy. 2017, right? Below 500. 2018, below 500. 2019, below 500. 2020, below 500. 2021, I believe that was the year they had the 14th most wins in baseball history. 2021, right? Just boom. 2022, I believe it was at 500. 2023, below 500. 2024, below 500. So here we are in this interesting time with the Giants. I didn't realize they've been so shitty. I really thought they'd been better. That one season in 2021 masked so much other shit that has gone on. Now, look, there's a whole new regime there. Bob Melvin just got there last year. Buster Posey is the man in charge. I will say, on the flip side of the Giants are the New York Yankees. Love them or hate them. One of the most incredible stats in the history of baseball is that the Yankees have not had a sub 500 season for like 35 fucking years. It's nuts. It's crazy. You got to go back to, I want to say, sometime in the early 90s where this team was not a 500 team. So, if you want to ask what makes an organization successful, I say that's a benchmark, because if you assume every team every single year should be 500 and you're able to outperform that year in and year out, year in and year out, it's just absolutely insane. Okay, Blake Snell had some words with Susan Slusher. It'd be fun to get her on here. He said, the Giants didn't even talk to me. This is a little head scratching. It doesn't make a ton of sense. Maybe they just didn't think they were going to sign him. But it said Blake Snell's tour of the NL West brings him now to Los Angeles after stints with the Padres and Giants. Sunday, he was in action wearing Dodger blue and that striking number 7 in a spring game against the A's. This time last year, Snell was 10 days away from signing with the Giants. That's nuts. Wow. He obviously went to sign with the Giants, but I mean, if you looked at the first however many starts, just meh, and then he was the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, there was a period there, at least a month or two, where he was fucking virtually unhittable. But he did say, quote, the Giants didn't even talk to me. It was surprising. I thought they really liked me. Surprising to say the least, but in the Giants' defense, if you know you can't sign them, and I know they were chasing Corbin Byrnes to an extent, but even Corbin Byrnes said they were wishy-washy. So you wondered after the Willy Adames deal, and Snell signed earlier, but they had a priority, and one of their priorities obviously was signing Adames and getting that lockdown shortstop after Brandon Crawford. I mean, so many years of having, just Aurelia, then it was Crawford. I guess the Giants have always kind of had that dude. Buster Posey wanted that dude. They went out and got that dude. Okay. So the other thing here, I just want to touch on quickly. There was a college baseball game, and I think it was like Coastal Carolina. And you had a couple of women in the stands, and it was fascinating because, here they were, and they're attractive, for sure, and they're dear, they're taking those selfies or whatever. And then the one went in for the butt selfie, which was then declared, was that the greatest moment in the history of ESPN Plus? Other than Banana Land, yes, it certainly was. All right. College baseball, top 25, we will get into tomorrow. I have 2 minutes here. Josh Allen signing an extension with the Buffalo Bills, a record-breaking extension. Look, Josh Allen is everything. $250 million guaranteed. There has never been a player like Josh Allen. I want to say in the city of Buffalo, but it's true, because obviously Jim Kelly would come up, right? The thing about Kelly and Josh Allen is Kelly was a superstar from Miami. Kelly was the one who turned his back on the Bills when they originally drafted him and then went to the USFL, and it took the USFL folding before Kelly came back to Buffalo, embraced it, makes his home there, and certainly is arguably the greatest Buffalo Bill of all time and beloved by everybody within that city. Look, Josh Allen embraced Buffalo from day one. Much like Kelly, he's been a consistent winner. He's been accountable. And if there is one guy, one player in the NFL I could start a franchise for the next 10 years, I'm going with Josh Allen. That's my number one. I don't give a fuck. Way more than Mahomes, way more than any other quarterback that you want to throw out there for me. Josh Allen is my number one guy. $250 million guaranteed, deserves every last penny. All right. Like I said, college baseball, we'll get into that top 25 tomorrow. Really fascinated how the SEC. Holy shit, man. The SEC, I don't know how, I'm going to have to go back and count how many fucking teams they have in the top 25. And then we'll go over the surprise team of 2025, as well as there was a poll that was conducted where if you have check this out. If you have one guy, you pick one guy, starter, reliever, doesn't matter, to close out Game 7 of the World Series, who would it be? They asked the players. So tune back in tomorrow and then tomorrow night. But wait, there's more. You got Will Clark live, Backwoods, Louisiana, for the newest edition of Deuces Wild. So a lot coming at you this week, and then midweek, it's travel time. But early in the week, we're going to hit this thing hard. All right, everyone have a fantastic day. That's it. See ya tomorrow.